YouTube, what the crap's going on? Heir of Carthage here on take 4 of the Roxolani faction focus. Yeah, take 4. Long explanation short, went back from the patch 12 update just to the regular so that I could play the replay and have it work properly, because replays won't play right whenever you go to a different patch, and anytime I try and start a replay the game crashes. So I had to reinstall the patch 12 beta, which means apparently I'm going to be playing in patch 12 beta from now on until it goes live. So go live soon, please, because it's going to make it hard for me to find matches, because I can only be matched against people in patch 12 beta. Won't stop me from recording campaign episodes, but kind of irritating to say the least. So let's get through this thing, because I feel like I'm repeating myself, and I am. You all just didn't see it. So, Roxolani, another step faction. Cav heavy, of course. They come with pretty much your standard shot cav, no cataphracts. That falls only to the Masagate. So they have step lancers, step armored lancers, step noble lancers, and a step above the rest. Oh yes, even the bad pun's still here after 4 takes. The Sarmatian royal lancers. So the difference between these units really just starts off with health and armor, and as you move up, it steadily increases the attack. Doesn't really change much when you get to the higher tier units. But it has more to do with health and armor, so that means basically the amount of time these guys will last in a fight and be able to continue fighting. All of them have low melee defense, because that's just the way shot cav is as of recent patches. Now, one thing I think that makes the Roxolani kind of interesting is that they do have access to melee cavalry. This melee cavalry gives them the edge, I think, over some other factions, especially since melee cav is better as of recent. And the Sarmatian horsemen are actually even cheaper in patch 12 beta than they were beforehand. They went from 700 down to 660. So these guys pack a lot of power for the price, and so do these Sarmatian riders. Definitely both good choices. Now when it comes to their missile cavalry, you got 3 choices, which is step horse archers, armored horse archers, and noble horse archers. As you move up, it's a difference in armor, health, and melee attack and weapon damage. It's pretty much your biggest factors there, and of course morale is going to go up as you go up. So the big difference when you're choosing a horse archer is, do you need lots of them and you intend to fire more missiles, or is it that you need to fire some missiles and you want some melee capability at the end of the fight? That's going to be the decision-making process you have to go through, because otherwise the missile damage is exactly the same. The shots per minute is different, though. So you can see the noble horse archers. As you move up, it's going to be like a modest increase in shots per minute here, and then an increase to 7 here. So that's a pretty good shots per minute rating for a bow unit of any sort. That's the Roxolani units. Not much to see there, because they are step faction, and they just don't have a whole lot of different stuff available to them. But let's get the replay going. The replay is not going to work properly, because I had to switch to the patch 12 beta. But it'll work close enough, I think, to get the point across. But I did kind of watch it earlier in the patch 12 beta, and it did not work exactly how it did in the battle. So my army is pretty straightforward. I'll explain it when we get there. My opponent's army, as you can see, is all spears, slingers, dogs, and not a whole lot of cav. I think he knows that he's not going to be winning a cav fight, so he brought the dogs and the slingers to be able to deal with my skirmishers, so that then my melee cav has to engage his spears, at which point he can win. A sound strategy. And to be quite honest, a pretty well-chosen army. Now, there's a few things that I might have done different with this army, but it definitely has the potential to win, and again, I think it was well thought out. I've got 3 cheap lancers, and then I've got 5 heavy lancers, and then I've got, I want to say, yeah, 6 of these, just melee cav, the better ones, the Sarmatian horsemen. And then I've got a noble horse archer and 6 step horse archers. So I previously with the Masagate told you that you could take cav in to just disrupt the infantry so that you can kill their skirmishers and horsemen, and then just pick them apart with your horse archers. This is going to be challenging for me, because my opponent has these 4 units of war dogs. War dogs are extremely effective at running down horse archers, and if he uses them right, it's going to be a real challenge for me. And Balearic slingers are extremely effective at bringing down lightly armored horsemen. So he's made some choices that are going to make my job tough. In a previous video, like I said, I showed you how you can pretty much just suicide into the spears momentarily and then bring your other cav around, and you can hit the skirmishers behind. But in this case, I have a lot of shot cav and I have melee cav. When it comes to an end-game fight, melee cav would be better generally, because it's going to have more staying power. That charge is important though, so I mean you could see it going either way. But I think melee cav would be better, and let's watch the decision making that I do here and see how well it goes. The one units that I would change is these auxiliary Numidian cav. I really don't think these guys serve a whole lot of purpose against the steppe faction, so I'm not sure why he brought these. Maybe because they're fast enough to catch horse archers? Could be, but they'd still have a hard time catching them. But yeah, the rest of his army I like. I think it's good choices. Triarii are very heavily armored, also have a very good shield, and they're not going to be easy to take down with horse archers. Even on heavy shot, it's going to take a lot of ammo. And these guys can deal with just about any horseman. So here I'm going to go ahead and go with the crazed cav charge just to get his infantry pinned down so that I can try and get around the flanks. I'll let you watch that here. So I charge in my melee cav, and it does okay getting in here early, but it is also under fire, these Balearic Slingers, which isn't going to help. That's going to kill my men even faster because it's point-blank range, and the Triarii are already pretty good. Let's take a look at the flanks. I think that what I did here, I actually charged a little too early in the center, so my guys are going to die faster than they need to. And I think that's my big problem here, is I wasn't really ready to surround and do the attack from all directions at once. If I had been, I think this could have been effective, but this ends up being a mistake. I don't kill many Triarii, understandably, and now I'm going to be trying to attack while his spears are free to assist elsewhere. But it's still going to be my prerogative to get a hold of his slingers, and again, I apologize if there's any weird spots in the battle where it looks like I'm standing still or units are funky, because with the change in the patch, like I said, it will screw up the replay to a certain extent. I do believe it turns out somewhat close. Like here you can see me decimating these Balearic Slingers, and I'm going to go for more here, get his dog handlers. He did release the hounds. They're over here chewing up some of my horse archers, but he targeted, I think, 2 units each onto a single unit rather than giving each of the 4 units an individual target, which would have been more effective. But he has killed a fair number of my horse archers, which is bad news for me. I'm going to try and catch his Numidian cav here, chase them back. This is honestly kind of a mistake because these guys aren't worth a whole lot, and so I do go ahead and pull my men back here to try and hit his back lines and lend some support to this fight. But, I mean, I guess this is maybe why he brought him, to be annoying, to make me think. My opponent did lose some Balearic Slingers. I believe he lost 1 unit, but 1 unit wasn't really as good as I should be. It looks like he's lost... Yeah, it looks like he's lost 2 units at this point, because he's got 3 remaining. 1, 2, 3. Yep. Didn't lose a lot of spearmen, but I didn't expect him to lose a lot of spearmen. I really just needed to have gotten rid of his cav and his missile units, and here he has cav, and here he has missile units. So that's what Patchy calls a failed attack. So at this point, Heir's in a little bit of trouble. That attack was way too costly for me and didn't really buy me the things that I need, but I'm not going to cease just yet. I'll just keep trying to get his men, and I am trying to give multiple orders all over the battlefield. Some of my orders were kind of late accordingly, and I'm not sure again that this replay turns out exactly like it did in the actual battle, so we'll see. Like right here, I'm not sure I would have left my general in this position, but maybe I did. I can't remember exactly what the other battle was here, and I think my steppe lancer... Oh no, it's because they were throwing javelins. I thought they just lost in melee to the Numidian cav, but they didn't. They were getting javelins thrown at them. So what I'm going to do is fast forward for just a second so we can kind of see what happens here. If my general gets killed, then I'll know it's screwed up because my general didn't die. And he's already pretty beat up here, which may have been the case, but I almost kind of think that this is pretty screwed up if he's this beat up. Maybe not, though. I don't remember. We will see. Look, there's still a pack of dogs hunting down my steppe horse archers. I do have some steppe horse archers left, though, and I can already tell that this is pretty really bugged, because by this point I had 4 steppe horse archers left, so the replay is pretty much screwed up. I apologize for that, but hey, at least you got to see some Roxolani units in action, and you all can't blame me at this point. I tried to give you a replay. The updates weren't very willing. This went on for quite some time, but with my general wavering because the replay is different, this is clearly not going to work out the same. I'm not even sure if the replay is going to last that long. It'd be interesting to see what happens here. Let's see what happens. I have no idea. Yeah, so anyway, this is a lesson that you all can learn, I guess, which is whenever... Yeah, look at this. It's supposed to last for another 12 minutes, but it ends. Oh, so annoying. 4 takes, and then my replay doesn't even work right. Irritating. Most irritating. And I doubt I can get a quick match either because because I'm in the patch 12 beta. We'll see. There's not going to be a ton of people in quick match that have the patch 12 beta, and sometimes it's hard to get a quick match quickly. I'll see if I can get something going here, but it's most likely not going to happen. That is irritating. I didn't realize how bad that was, or I wouldn't even showed it to you, so I apologize. And it's most likely not going to be able to get me a quick match here, because there's probably not going to be anybody else online to match me up against. Ooh, this is irritating. It was a good replay too. So that one kind of came down to the wire, and then the time ran out. Even though I wasn't quite out of ammo, I was trying to finish things off, and so it was a very close fight. My opponent just came down to a few spear units left, and I had like a couple of beat up melee cav units, not melee cav, shot cav, and then I had a couple of horse archers, I think 3 of which were out of ammo, 1 of which still had some ammo. So it was going to end up being a very close fight. It was a good one. Unfortunate that it gets ruined. I don't see how switching patches can affect it that badly whenever most of the units didn't receive any stat tweaks. It is very odd. You would think the only thing that would make a difference in the replays is the stat tweaks, but apparently that's not the case. Well, I'll tell you what we can do. Let's see how the AI would respond if I bring the same army, which we don't expect much here, but do it just for fun. I got some Step Noble Lancers. Yeah, I think I had like 6 of these guys. And then I had an armor, Noble Horse Archer. 5, 6. Clearly they have changed some of the pricing on here, but we'll make it work. Just divvy out some upgrades here and we'll call it good. This is pretty much the same army that I used. Oh, actually it's not the same army I used. I used 3 of these guys, so I had more shock cav. There we go. Divvied out all the upgrades that I can. And then let's just give these guys the same Roman army, and we'll try somewhat to recreate it. So he had a Legatus, I think 3 Triari, he had 3 auxiliary infantry, 5 Balearic slingers, and he would have had 2 Sakiai Equites Extraordinari, 2 Numidian Cav, and I wonder what in the world else he spent his money on. Do I have it on like Ultra Funds? No. Upgrades maybe? That wouldn't make a lot of sense. Oh, War Dogs. Come on here. Get with the program. There we go. Alright, so let's see how the AI handles the same type of army. Probably not as well, but we'll play it out again so that at least you can maybe see this working right, since that replay was a complete and total bust. But here you go. This is what happens when you record live. And I'm doing my best to make up something slightly more entertaining than a complete replay fail on part of the update. Oh, that's irritating. But I already said that, so let's not keep saying it. Wow. That's a pretty well balanced map. Oh man. I don't remember if the Romans were set to attacker or defender. We'll see. Hopefully they were set to attacker, or else they're just gonna hill camp. Okay, got all my horse archers ready. Obviously this is a different map. I'm gonna put these guys in a group just for ease of me moving them around. And if the Romans don't move, which they are not, which means that they are indeed the defenders. So that means the AI is quite content because it was given a gigantic hill to camp on. And who can blame them? When you're given an advantage like this, why not work with it? I mean, what is this? That is insane. What happened to my Nemeticena map? Did they screw it up? I think they screwed it up. Or maybe I just didn't select it right. I don't know what the correct answer is at this point. Okay, let's take some melee cab to the flanks. We're gonna break up this group. Don't want to get within range of those Balearic slingers just yet. Let's go ahead and work my way to the flanks, and we'll just outflank the Roman army.
Our horses love blood.
If there's one thing the AI is notoriously bad at, it's trying to face you on several flanks. I do need to keep an eye out though, because I don't know when they're going to release those war dogs. Probably somewhat defensively. Check out this formation. That's weird. War dogs interspersed with Balearic slingers. Odd indeed. Yep. Now you're seeing the AI struggle with the what do I do? I'm not quite ready to charge these guys in yet.
Warriors ready.
And I'm gonna send one of these heavy lancers to the flanks too. Go ahead and fast forward so I can get to that point. And I'll try some sort of strategy here, see if it works. Basically just want to put one of these heavy lancers on either side so that if the Roman Sake Equites challenge me, I'll have something to counter them with. And there we go. Let's go ahead and fast forward to my men are in place, which they are.
Ready for battle! Step forward!
Okay, just go ahead and move everybody into position. And let's turn all these guys onto heavy shot. What I'm going to do here is just try and push back enemy missile units. They won't have a good angle for shooting at me, I don't think. They sure won't. And this whole exercise is just going to be to keep the enemy missile units at bay. Actually got a charge off on those war dogs. Yeah, so this is actually going to cause them to get all bunched up, which is what I want, and I was supposed to support with these guys, so let's move them up. Pull them right back. And let's just get these guys surrounded. I got a nice charge on those war dogs there. Let's just keep pulling these units. Oh look, this unit's gonna get shredded. It's getting mauled by war dogs. And I accidentally got engaged with some Sake Equites here.
The men are wavering.
But all of their skirmishers are now exposed back here. I'm just gonna pull back here, see if we can get into melee with these Numidians. Let's get my general away from these advancing war dogs. This may not turn out so well. Not really sure. Okay, the Numidian cav is captured. We're gonna hunt it down. And I'm gonna pull back from these spears, which are advancing on me. Pull back from the spears here. No need to be in that fight. Oh, those are all skirmishers. Never mind. Every reason to be in that fight. Let's actually get in here and take these guys out quicker. Those Sake Equites are actually dying to my melee cav. Seems like those Numidian cav are lasting far longer than they should. Alright, sweet. Well, we got rid of a lot of the Roman Balearic slingers. Looks like the little distraction worked. So now what we need to do is just get all my horse archers off fire at will. Save their ammo, which is going to be used to take down all these spearmen. We can now pull back from this particular fight. There is some Roman cavalry left, which is going to be a problem. But my own cavalry is free to accomplish pretty much what I need it to at this point. I'll leave this one unit of Sarmatian horsemen in there, and I'll send this other one in to try and pin them back a little. I'm gonna bring this horse archer and these over here. Start getting up to this Triarii unit. It's gonna take a lot of fire to bring it down. Just gonna have to keep moving in order to keep the AI off balance here. There is one unit of Balearic slingers left, and their spears are charging at me here. Actually can't afford to take these losses, so I'm going to pull back from that Balearic Slinger. Check it out. Here's a enemy cav unit coming at my general. General should be able to escape this, but because of the terrible skirmishing on this game, maybe not. See if we can get out there and catch up with that Roman cav, get around him over here, get away from him over here. Let's send in one more melee cav just to pin the enemy down here. Pull around him.
Flee the field of battle.
Let's actually just get a hold of these guys. Gotta keep pulling my general back since not wanting to cooperate. Okay. Yeah, this is gonna work out the way I want. We've got the Romans pulled in every direction pretty much. These auxiliary infantry can now be destroyed. I'm gonna come over here and help knock out those archers even quicker. My general's still being caught by a cav unit that's slower and already used trample. Toggle skirmish on and off again. My horse archers are getting caught by spears even though they're unskirmished. Or no, those are war dogs, my bad. That actually makes sense. Okay, we can get out of this fight now, we can get out of that fight. Okay, now it's just a matter of kind of slowly whittling down the Roman spear units. And they are going to do a pretty good job of bracing and everything else, so it's going to be a challenge. War dogs are completely shredding this steppe horse archer unit. And these Triarii are taking damage slowly.
This is a shameful display.
Go ahead and turn my general around so he can prepare to run away. And we'll just keep that unit busy. Not going to let those spears get me there. Okay, those spears are taken out. Okay, these guys are carrying their weight. And look how long these melee cav can keep a unit pinned down. That's why I like them. That's one of the reasons, again, why I think the Roxolani have a unique advantage. Because they do have that melee cav that can help them accomplish this. Yeah, now it's really just a matter of time. And my general's keeping this Sake Equite busy. Just running away from it and continuing to fire on heavy shots, so eventually it'll die. And now my heavy shot's going to be able to wear down these spearmen.
Our men flee the field of battle. This is a shameful display.
I'll just split up, keep outmaneuvering the Romans. This Triarii unit's slowly getting whittled down, but slowly is the key word there. It is possible. Let me see if I can pin these Triarii from one direction with a... I'll do the same thing to this unit. We'll just see if we can hammer and anvil them out. Yeah, these Triarii are going to be taking a lot of pain there. I'll trample charge them from behind, see if that'll work.
One of our units has used all its ammunition.
There we go. Spears are catching me over here. Gotta get away from there. This unit's out of ammo anyway, and it's about to get mauled by attack dogs. But the Romans are gonna get beat. Just need to do a rear charge on this auxiliary infantry. The Roman Triarii is gone. Let's see if we can start firing at that one. Need to come around and get a good charge. Look at these Triarii holding on there for that long. There we go. We can now do a rear charge on these auxiliary infantry, and they're going to be dead. Getting killed by all my evil goat horsemen. Anyway, so that's potentially how you would want to work something like that against Rome. I do think that's a good Roman army for stopping that kind of thing. I mean, look how many horsemen these dogs chewed up, and that was with the AI not even using them right. But if you can get in quick, you can keep the enemy Balearic Slingers from being effective, because it's going to be hard for the Romans to stop you from doing so. I think your better bet if you want to take on the steppe faction like that is to just get more spears into spear box. Your cheaper spear units, though, might not be able to hold. You would definitely need Triarii to do that. And with how much they cost, that could be a pretty daunting task. So anyway, I hope you all enjoyed this. Sorry for the little bit of a screwed up look at it. Obviously, I'll try and get some more faction focus going, but as long as I'm stuck on patch 12 beta, it's probably going to be really hard for me to get matches on multiplayers. So we'll see what I can do, and hopefully this thing goes live soon since I'm kind of stuck with it now. Anyway, Heir of Carthage signing off for now.